What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video. I apologize. The lighting still sucks on these videos. I've been in a new spot for a decent amount of time now, and I just cannot get the lighting to be as good as it was in my previous location. You could see that bright light still shining. So I'm trying to figure it out. It's probably going to be just a new setup in general, record in a totally different spot. But we'll get to that in the next couple videos. We'll polish that up. But I wanted to make this video because I feel like this is a very, very, very big day in NASCAR. And it's a small thing that happened today. Well, I shouldn't say it's a small thing. It's a pretty big thing that happened today, given the timing of the announcement, given that, we are the week of the Clash. The Clash is on Sunday night. I'm recording this on Monday night. The Daytona 500 is what, 3 Sundays from now. And NASCAR made a totally reverse decision to no longer race on the Charlotte Roval. We will be racing on the Charlotte Oval for the chase race in when is that? I think October. This is a big, big deal, folks, because today I really, really am starting to feel like NASCAR is starting to listen to the fans again. I genuinely believe that. I think it's been a really, really long time since the voices of the fans mattered, the opinions of the fans mattered. I think NASCAR has been listening, but I just feel like the action hasn't been there because they felt like some of these leaps might upset, corporate America, if you will, or sponsors or whatnot. But I really think that now NASCAR, really just in the last year, is really starting to take into account what we want, what we're saying, and now they're hearing us out and they're making decisions that are challenging and tough decisions. I think it's a tough decision to go right now and say we are no like again a week before the season starts to say, hey, we're no longer doing the Roval. There will be no road course in the chase. We are going to go a second race on the oval. That's a big deal. That's a big change. There may be people, I don't know how many, because I feel like most people didn't really like the Roval, but there may have been people that have already bought Roval tickets thinking that, or renewed their tickets. I know I just got a call from Kansas about renewing my ticket. So this stuff happens. They get you early. And I just feel like with the kind of events that have happened in the last year now, that NASCAR is really, really making a go at giving fans the power back. They're not just letting us control the sport, obviously, but I say that with a grain of salt, but you get what I'm trying to say. And I think it started when the original 2026 schedule was announced, and we no longer had appetite for a Phoenix finale. We just didn't. We didn't know what the championship format would be, but we were done with Phoenix for the final race of the season. NASCAR listened to us. They heard that, and back came Homestead, Miami, which is a spectacular track, which has spectacular racing. And NASCAR made the right decision. Now, albeit a pretty fairly standard and easy decision, I would assume for them, but it's the right decision. It's the right decision. Phoenix is still a good area. The fans still show out for that race, but NASCAR said, no, we want to pivot back. We want better product. We want the fans to be happy. We want to go to Homestead for the finale, and that's what they did. That was big. That's number one. Number two, and I think this has been sprinkled throughout really the last season, but I think NASCAR is at least making an effort to challenge Goodwear sorry, Goodyear to give us more tire wear. There's the word. I think they've done that. I think they are challenging Goodyear to say, hey, we know the package is what the package is. We're looking into the package, and this was kind of like, again, prior to the next thing I'm going to bring up. But they said to Goodyear, try to get us a tire that has more wear, that, is going to provide that extra element for drivers to save their stuff. And it hasn't been perfect, but I think Goodyear and NASCAR have been working together to get that at least to a better spot. I think we have all seen in the last, I don't know, 6 months, really the second half of the season, that there was a continued effort for NASCAR and Goodyear to work together and give us a better product with what we had at the current moment in the current situation, which is, the package that they laid out for the short tracks. And I like NASCAR pushing on Goodyear to do that. I like Goodyear kind of echoing and hearing that out and trying to do better for the fans. That's number two. Number three is then they said, okay, now you know what? We will make a change to the cars. We're going to add a little bit more horsepower on short tracks. So now we're looking at 750 horsepower. Is it going to make the biggest difference this year? I don't know. But NASCAR is at least listening. They're at least trying to give us, something that we're asking for. Yes, we all want obviously a lot of horsepower, 900, whatever. But NASCAR is at least hearing us out and saying, okay, all right, yeah, we hear you a little bit. This product could be better. Let's try this. This is not going to be a dynamic, a huge change, but it's something, right? It's something where we now have a new benchmark to set and a new, a baseline product that hopefully is better for the fans because we hear you and we want to make better for you. And I think that was a big one. That's three big things in the last year they've done. And then on top of that, with all the talk and the chatter around Denny Hamlin and how he lost that championship, NASCAR was bold and I think was aggressive at hearing out a lot of different people. And again, they have to be respectful because they do have sponsors that buy into this sport. And that's the reason that this sport can really still function is all the sponsorship that goes into these kind of productions and these events. And NASCAR said, okay, well, we have to try to make better for the fans and give them something that they feel like can crown a deserving champion. And is it perfect? Absolutely not. But is it much better? Did they hear us out? Did they listen to us and give us a really, really, in my opinion, good, solid middle ground that I think can crown a legitimate champion and award more points for winning races and also not just allowing these back markers to win a race and have a shot to compete for a championship against somebody that has been way more consistent and has way more points. They listened to us and they delivered. And we have a new championship format going into the Daytona 500 in the 2026 NASCAR season. That was a big deal. It was a really, really, really big deal. And today they kind of put the cherry on the top, in my opinion. Now, I still think if they were to eliminate stages, you know, in a week and say, you know what, prior to the Daytona 500, we're scrapping stages. We're just gonna there is no cautions. Actually, how about no stage breaks? We're still gonna award points based on lap kind of stage percentages, whatever, but they just get rid of stage cautions. That would be the true cherry on top. But today, they again are listening to the fans and making schedule changes that will benefit the product for the fans. We wanted more intermediate tracks. We wanted Charlotte to get its second date back. NASCAR said, you know what? We feel like we have some momentum. I just feel like this is what they're saying to themselves. We have some good momentum now. All right, we've got a stacked Daytona 500 open car entry list. We've got a new points format. We've got a really good solid schedule right now. What's one thing we can do that will really make the fans even a little bit more jazzed up for this season? Let's get rid of the Roval. Let's go back to our bread and butter, which is kind of oval racing. And I cannot wait for both Charlotte dates. I think the Charlotte race last year was spectacular. I think this is a much needed change. I know it's going to upset an AJ Allmendinger, a Shane Van Gisbergen, a Connor Zilisch, maybe, although he's probably pretty good on the intermediates when he gets in that cup car. But yeah, it's going to upset some of those guys, and rightfully so. Maybe a Michael McDowell, a Daniel Suarez. But the bottom line is that the fans want better racing. We want a better product. And that was, we voiced that get rid of the Roval. Let's go back to a second oval date. That was a big thing when the schedule dropped. Get rid of the Roval. I feel like I tweeted it out. Get rid of the Roval altogether. And NASCAR made a quick decision with 3 weeks to the Daytona 500, with 1 week to the Clash. they say, you know what? Abandon ship on the Roval. Let's go back to our roots. So I just feel like at this point in time, it's a very important day and a really important few weeks for NASCAR, who have just started to put some power back into the fans and create a little bit of just extra motivation for us to tune into this season. Because I think the viewership is going to be up now. I really do, year over year. I think we're going to see a viewership spike because I think a lot of people are going to start to lock in to this championship format. It's much easier to follow. It feels like we can crown a deserving champion. And we've got a better schedule. We've got a substantially better schedule than we did last year, than we did the year prior, than we did the year prior to that. Um, I mean, this is the best schedule since pre-COVID, in my opinion. So I think NASCAR is listening to the fans finally, and I feel like we've got some good momentum going into the season, and I'm excited about this. I think NASCAR is doing some good things right now, some really good things. Now, they had a bad couple months with some of those leaked texts with Richard Childress, some of that back and forth in court with Denny Hamlin, and those emails and yada, yada, yada. But they are saving face right now, and they are bringing the fans kind of, the fans are forgetting about what just happened and what transpired in court and through those messages and all that publicity. And, they're giving us something new to think about and cheer about, and I'm all for it. I feel respected finally and heard finally as a fan for the first time in a long time. But I don't know, it was a little bit of a reaction video based on the news today. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like NASCAR is really starting to put some of the power back into the fans and feel like us fans have a voice? What do you think? Put your thoughts in the comment section down below. Always, if you enjoyed this video, give this video a like. Goes a long way for the channel. And please, 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 if you're watching for the first time and you enjoyed this content, hit that subscribe button down below. It means a lot. We're about a week away from the Clash. So, as I always say, let's have some fun. Let's win some money the best we can. I will have a betting show on the Clash this week. And we'll see you next time.